In my own view, the Salton Sea did not receive the kind of attention that it should have received over the years. But if we think we are in a crisis today with respect to water, think only about the complete drying up of the Salton Sea. Think about what happens when you start having those winds blowing across those dry seabeds and what it does to Los Angeles and Palm Springs and Southern California. Think for a moment about the days of the Dust Bowl and what that did to Oklahoma and Kansas and Colorado. It can happen, and it might happen, unless somehow the long-term solutions that many of you are working on with the Salton Sea are put into place.
Welcome to the Energy and Water Summit.
I've heard a lot of interest in the whole topic of the Salton Sea. Can California avert a disaster there?
Some people are very interested in the Salton Sea. There's some people out there who say, let it dry up. And some people say, gosh, they've been talking about it a long time. Why don't they agree to a plan and get going on it?
We understand here locally that the Salton Sea is an issue. It's a serious economic issue and it's a serious environmental issue.
You have the dust, you have the salt, you have the declining water level.
We know now that there is a date certain when the sea is going to begin to degrade very, very quickly.
The sea has continued to decline even above our estimates. We're really afraid that there wasn't action on the sea happening.
As a tourism industry, we really are trying to bring awareness to the legislators, the public, and anybody that the #1 industry for the Coachella Valley is going to be dramatically impacted. This is going to impact all of us.
At the state level, we are working very hard to bring the necessary awareness, pushing the necessary legislation.
The biggest concern we have is the public health and well-being of the people that live out there and the impacts it'll have on the air quality.
I think the key is something's got to happen. It's got to happen faster than it's been happening, and I think you have people's commitment on that.
Now at the governor's office level, there's a lot of interest, but now it's about trying to figure out what's doable, what can we do fast, what's going to work.
I do think it's been on the governor's mind lately. Of course, you know, he appointed a local Bruce Wilcox to be the Salton Sea czar.
2 weeks ago, I think, started with the state of California's Assistant Secretary of Salton Sea Policy. And you heard earlier today that no ideas are off the table, and I think that's true.
Bruce's appointment and serious attention from the governor's office, and I'm optimistic for the very first time that we're going to get somewhere.
But I think we need to bring everybody together, pool our resources, pool our brain power, and make sure that Mr. Wilcox is not just appointed, but he has a budget in which he can implement to make sure that we have the appropriate solutions.
Thank you.
So the conversation seems to be changing a bit, and maybe that's partly because there's a looming deadline.
The clock is ticking, and we've got to make sure to be able to solve the problem today.
Well, it sounds like this event that you're doing, putting a lot of people out in the water, gets people talking about it more.
We're excited about SEAthletes. I think it can show the vibrancy of what the lake has the potential to be.
I'm glad you're doing that because drawing attention to the sea is good in my book.
Myself, I'm an athlete and I was an outrigger canoeer, so I look forward to participating in that. I think it'll be a great experience.
And who will you paddle with on the Salton Sea?
The winning team.